let's start with something simple. What does your meeting structure or your cadence, whether it be daily, weekly, monthly, look like for you?
For sure. So I think maybe I'll speak about it just from the frontline manager perspective, which might be helpful.
Yep.
I think, first of all, in my opinion, the two core operating priorities for anybody is hiring and coaching. I'll repeat that again. Talent, coaching. 40% of your time as a frontline manager should be spent coaching. And I would espouse folks on the call, if you haven't maybe Googled the GROW model, there's a bunch of them, but it's a way of asking questions to get the answer out as opposed to just giving the answer. So you want to teach someone how to fish as opposed to just hand them fresh fish every day. That's the idea there.
Love fish.
Yeah. Who doesn't love a good fishing?
Yep.
But I think, the other ways you've got to bring people along these curves is like helping them. I see myself almost like a Sherpa that doesn't carry the bags. And so I can point the direction up the mountain because I've climbed a bit of it and I've seen, where the pitfalls are, and I can tell people that. But I ain't going to carry your bags, and you got to walk up that mountain yourself, and you got to be motivated to do so. I think if you find the right people and you give them the right set of direction and you set the right cultural foundations, you're in a really good spot for people to thrive. But you must create the necessary conditions for success, which all begins with culture.
Got it. Awesome. And what percentage of your week would you bucket into each major thing that you're doing? Let's use the frontline sales manager example. What percentage of your time are you spending doing each particular thing, either per week or per month, however you've thought about it?
So hour-long staff meeting once a week. That's where we run through our operating priorities, our OKRs, and how we're pacing against them. We'll have a forecast meeting, which is your typical upside, downside outlook, how we're pacing against that, any things we need to do to accelerate or decelerate what's going on. And then I'll have an hour-long, ideally, one-to-one with every rep, where 5 minutes might just be spent just double-checking event and changing the forecast, if any swings happen in deals. But most of that time should be spent coaching. And then maybe toward the end of a quarter with a couple of people, I put on my non-qualified therapist hat and support people through, those moments that we all have in sales where we're like, where's my number going to come from? And the reality is nobody goes through a sales career unscarred. And so as a manager, you need to be compassionate to that and help support and guide people through those moments when it happens.
Awesome. Favorite or most impactful monthly or quarterly meetings that you have?
Favorite or most impactful monthly or quarterly meetings we have? The all hands meeting for sure that Rich runs. I think that gives the kind of air traffic control point of view of what's
Good
going
one.
on.
Good example. Yep.
Yeah, thank you. And so I think it's really important for a leader to, from a stakeholder management point of view, obviously up, down, and across, but down is so important. And like for me, clarity and transparency are really important. And, for a CEO like Rich to build trust with 230 people, that happens with consistency over time. And so I think if you have the same set of operating priorities, the same set of values, your culture is consistent, and every month your CEO, she or he, is coming out and talking to those and reminding people of repetition. As Steve Gergen once said, press secretary is, you got to repeat something until people are sick of hearing it. Like, I'm a big believer in that. And Rich comes out once a month and has that meeting. And I think it's really transparent. It's really informative and it builds trust.